How do you know if you're getting traffic from organic search? In this video, I'm going to tell you that. Hi there, I'm Sham. I'm an international SEO and content marketer. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how do you find out if you're getting traffic through organic searches or not. And if you are, how much is it and all of those details, right? Well, the good news is Google gives it to you for free, but you have to set something up, which is called Search Console. Now, I'm going to show you the exact details on how to set it up. And let me share my screen for that, all right? Okay, so let's look at the tool first, right? The name of the tool is Search Console. So if you search on Google, you'll see that should be the first entry, right? Google Search Console tools. What it basically does is that it links, Google anyway collects all the details on, how many people are coming from search to a particular website, how many times a website is shown up on search, and all of those kind of details. Now, all we are doing is that we are using a tool to get access to that data, right? So it happens in two steps. One is, you set up Search Console and you link it to the website. So you have to tell Google that you own the website, right? And either own the website or you have admin access to the website. Now, once you do that, then Google gives you all the access that are necessary and it'll show you the data. So let's start with Google Search Console. So you search for the term Search Console and you click on Start Now. Now, I am right now in this particular case, I'm giving my admin access to it. So I'm going to log in as admin, and then I'll show you what happens after that. Okay. Okay. So I just logged in as admin, and you see this error that is coming. We are sorry, but you do not have access to Google Search Console. Please log into your admin console to enable it. Now, this is something that will come up if if you're using Google professional emails, right? What happens is there is a additional setup, additional access that you have to give for all the users in your organization to access additional apps. So Search Console comes in that set of additional apps. So I need to give access to it through my organization email login. Now, if you're using a regular Gmail account, then you wouldn't have this error coming up. You would directly be able to access the Search Console dashboard, and then you will have to add the website. So I'm gonna show you how, if you are using this professional email, how to enable access to Search Console, and then we'll take it forward. So let me just log in to the admin.google.com, which is something that manages everything under the organization. Now, you don't need to do all of this yourself. You can ask your tech team if you have. They will be able to do it pretty straight. It's pretty straightforward, but I'll still show you how it is done. Okay. So you go to apps, you go to additional Google services here, right? And then you go down and you'll see Google Search Console somewhere here. You see this? Google Search Console is off. The service status is off. You need to switch it on. So I click on it and I say on for everyone, right? Doesn't matter. This is just enabling the feature. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to get the access. You are just enabling the feature for everyone. So it's harmless, right? Okay. So now you're done. So you have given you have enabled the feature of Google Search Console for everyone in your organization. Now, again, please note this is only for people who are using Gmail professional services. So you buy an account, right, for emails if you're using it for your organization. Like in my case, shamgoin.com is using Google email services. So I have to enable it for all the users in my organization. So if I have a team member who wants to get a certain access, this is the dashboard which controls it, admin.google.com. Again, you don't need to do this. Tell your tech team that, hey, enable this feature, Google Search Console for me. They'll do it for you. All right. Okay. That's the first step. So you're done with that part. Now let's go back to Google Search Console and then refresh. Okay. Let me just log out and log in. Maybe that is why. Oh, so, okay. Let me just Search Console. I'm going to search it again and go to Google Search Console. Start now. I'm following the same process. See, this time it got enabled, so that's why you are seeing a different screen. Okay, now let's talk about this screen. Remember, I told you that you need to link your website to the Search Console tools. This is where you do it. Now there are two ways of doing it. One is a domain method. The other is a URL prefix method. I'll tell you briefly what the difference is. So let's talk about shyamgovin.com. Okay, it's a new website that I've created. I've started blogging on that and all that. Now what happens is there are like different, if you have noticed, you see a prefix before shyamgovin.com, which is http colon slash slash or https colon slash slash. Now both of them are basically URL protocols and internet protocols, and you can actually have different search console dashboards for each type of URL address. You could do that if you want to, right? So you could give specific URL permissions, specific permissions on the Search Console, which means let's take a simple scenario. Let's say you have a marketing team and they have created a subdomain like learn.shamgovin.com. Now, learn.shamgovin.com is where you have courses and all that, and marketing team is my marketing team is, let's say, they're publishing courses for lead generation, and they're helping people, B2B business owners and marketers, to learn more about SEO and content marketing and all of that. Now they might want to see how many people are coming to learn.shamgovin.com through search, and how many times is this URL coming up on Google search and all of that. So that's a specific use case, right? You are only doing it for a subdomain, right? It's not for the entire shamgovin.com. It's just for learn.shamgovin.com. In those cases, you will use URL prefixes. Um, but if you want to give overall access to everything that is under the domain shamgovin.com, irrespective of whether it is HTTP or HTTPS or learn.shamgovin.com or something else.shamgovin.com, you use the domain method. Domain method is more powerful. It's like you are giving a complete access. It also involves some DNS verification, and I'll talk about that. So let's say here I type in shamgovin.com. Now it's a new website, so it will not have much traffic. I just started blogging on it. Now you see it is auto verified in this case. Sometimes you will not see this. Sometimes you will you are getting auto verified here because I'm using the Google DNS in this case. So again, if it is too complicated, you tell your tech team to set it up for you. They'll be able to do it. And I'll show you how it looks. So you go to the property, right? So you see domain property aggregates all protocols and subdomains and paths. So http example.com, https colon slash slash example.com, www.example.com, m.example.com, all of them go to under the overall domain property of example.com. If you want, you can learn more about it, how it works and how do you set it up. Basically, what happens is, I'll tell you in brief. What happens is you basically have you basically have um, a, a, um, a key that you put in your DNS entry. So there is something called as name server entries. So you would you would have many entries. Like DNS is basically the actual address of um, your website's server. So when I type sharpnoise.com, how would the internet know where is sharpnoise.com, right? That's through DNS, right? So that's where you put an entry saying that if anybody types shamgovin.com, they should go to an IP address. There'll be an IP address mentioned, which is a web server address, right? So that's what DNS is. So what domain property verification does is that it asks you to put an entry, a TXT entry, a text entry in the same DNS set of DNS entries. So one of the DNS entries would be where is shamgovin.com. Then there are other ones as well. So they would ask you, they'll tell you exactly, put a text txt and then put this DNS entry. I'll show you an example. Let's say, let me share my screen again. Let's say, for example, you are trying to add uh, a property, and I'm trying to add apple.com. Okay. let's say I Apple comes to me and says that, hey, please do our SEO or content marketing, then I will add a domain as apple.com, continue, right? It'll verify the property. Now it'll not automatically get set because I don't have access to their DNS entries, right? So it'll say, you see this verified domain ownership via DNS record. Now it'll say set the record type as TXT recommended. Now this is the entry that I'm talking about. And then what you have to do is you have to go to sign into your domain name provider, GoDaddy, Namecheap, or whatever it is. In my case, it was Google Domains. That's why it was auto verified. In many cases, it won't be auto verified. So you go to that particular domain registrar, and then you put in an entry called TXT and then this. Now, this you may not know as a business owner or a marketer. I would suggest that you get it done through somebody who is used to doing this, like on somebody who works on the server side. So it could be your website developer, it could be somebody who has registered your domain name and all of that. Don't do it yourself. DNS entries are very sensitive. If you make a mistake, it can screw up your entire website and you people will not be able to access your website. So please do not do it on your own if you don't know this, right? I know this, that's why I'm able to do it. I have been a techie before, so that's why I am doing it on my own. But it's quite straightforward. All you have to do is you have to tell your website developer that, hey, I need to verify my domain ownership, and you just send him or her the entire details that is mentioned here, right? You can copy this, take a screenshot, then copy this part, and then send him the entire details, right? That's one way. There are other methods like CNAME and all of that. You could do that as well. So if you click on this, it'll ask you to, hey, you put this and this in the CNAME record. All of this are again related to DNS entries. So again, do not do this on your own if you have never done this. It's not advisable, right? So I'm going to click on verify later, or rather back. I don't want to, and cancel, right? So this is how my website is looking. So it says welcome to Search Console and all of that. Now there are many things that you get in this. So for example, right now, I've just started, so I am just getting total. So there are like four metrics here, right? So let's briefly understand the dashboard that you see here. Okay, so it tells you basically how many people are coming via search and how many times are we getting listed on search results, right? So first is 4 clicks. So they people have clicked in the last 3 months. People have clicked 4 times. So I basically started my website sometime a few months back, but I've not been active. It's only now that I've started putting in content on it. So it's fairly low, right? No, not many. It's not getting listed on search as many times. So there are only 4 clicks that have happened. And if you notice, most of it has happened in the last few weeks because that's when I've started being more regular on it. Total impressions mean how many times it has showed up on search, right? So every time somebody searches something, if this shows up, then if the website shows up, then it's counted as an impression. Now, every time you need to have an impression to get a click, right? It gets listed first, and then you have a click. So you'll see that. If you can uncheck this and you'll see that, okay, there have been 4 clicks in whatever impressions we had. So if I click on this, it'll show you how many impressions we had. So you can actually have this, like, see, 2 impressions, 1 click, um, 0 clicks, 47 impressions, 24 impressions, 1 click, things like that, right? So average CTR is basically number of clicks by number of impressions, right? So it's quite straightforward. Average position is basically what is the average rank, when it is shown up on a website. So typically the first page of Google has around 10 entries. This is on average, not necessarily a rule. Nowadays you have an infinite scroll. So Google has changed the way it shows up the results. But in the average position of 38.8 means in the entire ranking, on average, my website comes up on 38.8th position. Now, whether it is good or not, that depends, right? Like, for example, in this case, one, it's a new website, so it will not show up on at a very high average position. Second, sometimes it's also not a bad thing to have a lower average position because you might like this is there's too little data to analyze this right now, but I'll show you some other websites of my clients where you have like a million impressions and all of that. There you will see that average position changes depending on how what new keywords we are targeting and all of that. We'll get to that later, but I just wanted to show you what Search Console is. So Search Console performance is where you see all of this. Then if you go down, you'll see the queries for which we rank, right? So in this case, I've written a bunch of blogs on copywriting frameworks. So you will see that, BAB copywriting, PASS framework, all of that, and Sham Govind obviously is getting listed. These are the impressions on the right hand side column, and you have the second column on from the right as clicks, right? So you're seeing that there's only one click that you see from the queries here. Now, some of these, there is, you might see some discrepancy between number of clicks here and the number of clicks shown up here. The one shown above is the accurate one. The one shown below is sometimes, um, Google doesn't show everything for privacy reasons. So sometimes not all the clicks are shown up in the queries page. It can happen. I'm just telling you that. Now, then you have a tab called pages. What are the pages that are showing up? You see here, there you see all the four, right? Shamgoin.com, then shamgoin.com/blog/BAB, copywriting formula, SEO budget, ROI, that's showing up. This is shown up 150 times in impressions, but 0 clicks, which means that it's probably not on the first 10. It's probably later. That's why it is not being clicked upon, right? And then you have these things, and you can get into the details of it. You can click on it and see, hey, what is happening? Which country is the traffic coming from? So most of it is from India and US, and then you have some from France and Qatar and South Korea, Russia, UK, Indonesia, Pakistan, Malaysia, and all of that, right? So these are the countries. Then you have devices. What are the kind of devices people are using? So most people are using desktop. It's only a few are using mobile, right? Then um, then dates. When did people visit my website? How many times the impressions and all of this is basically the same as the graph that you see here. So Feb 22, you had 47 impressions and 0 clicks. So you will see that Feb 22 would have 47 impressions and 0 clicks, right? So this is basically what you see on Search Console. There are many, many more things like, there is URL inspection, pages, video pages, site maps. I'll get into all of that at a later stage. But I just wanted to tell you, if you want to see as a business owner or a marketer, what is the traffic that you're getting from search. Search Console is a free tool that you can use. Now, there are more things like, there are tricks that you can use so that Google knows that your website, you have updated a new page and all of that. You have, maybe let's say you have written a new blog, or let's say you have written you have changed your you have added a new page on your website. How would Google know that you have added a new page, right? We'll get into all of that in a different video. But in this video, I just wanted to tell you, if you ever want to know how many people are coming to your website through organic search, the best way to know that is through this tool called Google Search Console. I hope it helps. I'm Sham Govind, an international SEO and content marketer, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.